But, you know, the thing that I look at after 3 decades plus is we used to have teacher meetings. Now, I say teacher also included the PTAs, the greater community, in this community right here that would literally draw hundreds on multiple occasions to support public education when we did the 1-cent sales tax, all kinds of things that I can think of over time. I don't know if it's this dad-blamed computer or what it is that's got everybody sitting low and maybe not thinking as much, and certainly you're the choir I'm speaking to because you're here, but I think we're going to have to get some kind of really sensational grassroots efforts, and KC, maybe this is it, I hope it is, to renew that spirit, to realize that nothing prospers. Nothing really prospers till the public education prospers as a whole in this state, and it's going to take voting. We've got to get away from all this business. Now, I mean, let's just lay it out on the cards. Y'all had me 31 years. Get rid of me if you want to. Mass an effort and get rid of me. But you've also had Nancy Collins and Brian Aldridge and Jerry Turner up here, and everybody in this county and around this county now has a GOP label by their name, and that's okay. If they'd support education, I wouldn't care if they were communist. But by gosh, you have to force them to do it, and you elect those people, and you elect me. So make me accountable and make them accountable is my point, and to do it, you got to do it with a grassroots effort.
One thing I would add to that kind of goes back to what Representative Holland said just a little bit ago. I asked someone a couple of months ago to see if they could find out, you know, about some things with education, what was going on down in Jackson, and the response I got from that person, the man in Jackson he spoke to, was, do what you want to do. You don't have the votes to beat me anyway. So my response to my friend was, well, you know what? They said that on the school start date last year.
Yeah.
And you know what? We got that taken care of. So your legislators will listen to you, especially if you call them and say, hey, look, I'm not going to vote for you if you don't do this. 1 or 2 calls they don't listen to, but 6 or 7 or 10 or 200, they start getting a little nervous. And that's what they're there for, folks. Don't hesitate to call them.
What is the #1 issue on every member of the legislature's mind? Re-election. I'd like to tell you it's public schools. That ain't it. They're thinking about re-election. So you tie this to re-election and you do what he said and call them up. Let me tell you something. I've got 26,000 constituents. If I get 3 phone calls about an issue, it is a tidal wave. It's like 10,000 people out there thinking about it and not calling. So if you start calling, you ain't got to call many times. You don't have to have many people to call. But you don't need to let them argue and tell you that you're wrong. You are right. Don't listen to all their stuff. Don't listen. You don't need to get into the technicalities of it. Just say either you support this or we're going to beat you. That's the line. Whether they're Republicans or Democrats. You don't have to say this is the right. Don't try to convince them it's right or wrong. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about re-election. The idea is either you support this or we're going to beat you. That is the message.
All right. Go ahead. Go.
I was just going to say, as a new elected official, I can tell you it'll work. I've only gotten one letter of a person saying that they weren't going to vote for me, and if I didn't get his yard cleaned up from the tornado, he had my name misspelled and the letter misspelled, but his yard was clean that day.